Your AI sidekick has arrived. That's right. Turn off the bat signal because Blaze is here to save the day. Blaze is an AI sidekick for overwhelmed teams of one just like you. Brainstorm and outline content ideas with AI. Go from idea to on brand content in minutes. Turn a blog post into 10 plus asset types, ads, social posts, emails, and more. Collaborate with colleagues in real time and get content approved. Go to drT23.site. That is DRT23.site. Navigate to Blaze and download today. Time for our fast break mini episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast and tell someone and tell somebody else to join. A win is a win. And love it when you listen, but love it even more if you subscribe. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It don't cost you a thing. And while you're doing that, go ahead and hit the notification bell to get your necessary notifications. 2007 was a memorable moment and not in a good way. Don Imus took to his radio show on CBS and referred to an inexcusably racist and sexist mischaracterization of Black women student athletes at Rutgers University, calling them nappy headed hoes. Imus was fired just a week later. Fast forward to 2024 Sweet 16. Ben Bolk, LA Times staff writer, took time out of his day while writing an article and decided to call the UCLA Bruins America's sweethearts, all while calling the LSU Tigers the basketball villain. Now, his article offended many people, including Haley Van Lith, who's a member of the LSU team. She said that the bias still does exist today. Racism still exists. And a lot of people that are making those comments are being racist towards my teammates, who obviously she plays with, Angel Reese, Flaugier, and a host of other of her teammates. Now, here's what's interesting to me before I continue. When you write an article, even let's go back to high school and college. When you wrote for the student paper, it had to go to the editor, maybe a couple of them, before it was published. This article goes through about 3 different editors before it's published. So the entire blame and the racist overtone of this article was approved by others who, in my opinion, let the article go because they had the same belief as Bolk. The original version of his article was quote unquote so offensive that it had to be retracted just a day after the publication. Now, a previous version of this commentary, after it was posted, did not meet the Times editorial standards, which was reported by a LA Times team member. Bolt's description of LSU's players as dirty debutantes no longer appears in the updated version. Now, the article was written in 3 parts. First, it focused on LSU's basketball coach, Kim Mulkey. And obviously, we know her history with reporters. She doesn't like them. Let's just put it out there. She doesn't like them. Bolt also wrote about UCLA's head coach, Corey Close, portraying her as the classier coach. Then, quote unquote, then there's UCLA, which operates in the saintly shadows while being as wholesome and as miniature stuffed Bruin as a wholesome miniature stuffed Bruin mascot. I have no idea what he meant by that. It's important to note that Moki and Close are both white women. Hmm. The third emphasis of Bolt's article is one that's garnering most attention. And this is where the original version, where he referred to the players as dirty debutantes. Now, he also accused the Tigers of being divisive and America's most polarizing team. He offered this unwarranted view of them and UCLA. Quote, do you prefer the team that wants to grow women's basketball or the one seemingly hell bent on dividing it? His was a good versus evil comparison. Now, he cited an example of Angel Reese, who's the star of the LSU squad, waving goodbye to a player on the opposing team who fouled out in an earlier round in the tournament. Trash talking has been a part of all sports. It's nothing new at all. And it still lives today. Now, obviously, when they won the chip last year and she held up her ring finger and did the John Cena, well, that's no different than what Caitlin Clark did earlier. But one had to be the villain. I don't understand how we're in times where the predominantly black team is comprised of villains. The one with fewer black women is made up of angelic sweethearts. And it's allowed to be posted in 2024. The confusion is not the racist part because, yes, it still exists. I'll insert this here. Try being in sports medicine and you show up and people don't even acknowledge you as being the team doctor that's there to either teach, educate, or work on performance with athletes. I've been mistaken to be the water girl. I've been mistaken to be facilities. Until I show my credentials, my skin just isn't good enough to be believable. Who plays on these teams matters, but so too do the locations of the two universities. UCLA is nestled in between Beverly Hills and Bel Air. Specifically, it's in Westwood, which is 90% white. LSU is in Baton Rouge, which is 37% white and 53% black. 3% of UCLA's undergraduates are black compared to 17% at LSU. According to his online bio, he's worked for the Times, listen to me, since 1999, mostly as the UCLA beat writer. Now, surely he's been on Westwood campus a lot of times over the past 25 years and knows UCLA very well. But his article upholds long-standing racist tropes about black people being thuggish, people from predominantly black contexts being prone to misbehavior, and black women in particular being threats to innocent, defenseless white women. Oddly, despite caricaturing Bayou Barbie as a classless bully, Bolt includes quotes from UCLA's players Charisma Osborne and Lauren Betts, who played with Reese on Team USA last summer. And they said, she's an amazing teammate and I really enjoyed playing with her. This is what Betts said. Similarly, Osborne noted she's really nice off the court as well, and people don't always see that. So then why write such an awful article and heinous words about her and extend that mischaracterization to her LSU teammates? You know, a lot of times people will show you who they are and you believe them the first time. So there was no need to go back. You said how you felt the first time. So then there was never a need for you to go back and try to mid article where you're thinking, okay, this is not, hold on now. I need to kind of boomerang this back and kind of make it seem like I'm not saying what I really am saying so that I can get this out and posted and published. I'm going to insert some niceties from the UCLA team members to make it more valid. The validity of Black people, Black women specifically, I'll stick to that because that's what we're talking about, does not need to come on the heels of anyone or anything else other than the work that they put in, the education that they have. That is it. Because if the validity of this article has to be justified by quotes from America's sweethearts to then lessen the view of LSU's team and most villainized player, Angel Reese, then we don't need it. Angel Reese doesn't need it. And despite their loss to Iowa, she, all of them will still go on to do great things in their own right. No matter what the color of your skin is, you should never be villainized for it. You should never be put in a box. You should never be mischaracterized, sexualized in any type of fashion. This one hit me in a different way because in 2024, microaggressions still live in the world of Black professional women. And it crosses all forms across the board, no matter if you're an athlete, if you're a doctor, if you work at a restaurant, if you are a server, if you are a flight attendant. We will always be seen in a villainized way. The loud, angry Black woman when she's just trying to express herself. The underpaid Black woman when she sits at the highest position in the company. You can't be a doctor, you're Black. You can't be professional, you're Black. But here's what we'll do. We'll justify who you are by feeding you breadcrumbs of compliments from your white colleagues or co-workers, teammates, and such. Let these young women play basketball, and that's all they want to do. Angel Reese doesn't have a problem with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark doesn't have a problem with Angel Reese, out of their own mouths. So if out of the mouths of UCLA players, when you sat down, Mr. Bolt, and you interviewed them to then insert those quotes into your article, you should have then at that point decided to discard and rewrite so that you would not villainize women whom you have prejudged, whom you have misjudged, whom you have racist thought about. But no, you chose to go and put it out. And the company that backs you decided to put it out. And it was only retracted when the heat came down from the public and the readers. And aha, 2024 boomeranged you upside your head because they said this is not okay. Black women, this is not okay. Black men, this is not okay. However, white men, white women, professors from universities of other races said this is not okay. Sometimes you have to stand up for yourself. Sometimes you have to understand, yes, certain things come with the culture of which you are in, and you deal with it accordingly. Yes, people are not going to like you all the time as an athlete. People are not going to like you all the time as a doctor. People are not going to like you all the time as a welder or whatever you may be and whatever your skin color is, but you do not deserve to be villainized.